Welcome to my podcast. I'm your entrepreneurship tutor, Professor Henry Bwiza of Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. Today I want to talk about Kenya's 2023 Finance Bill. And I just want to talk about one aspect, the fact that excise duty was introduced on fruits powder. That's the only aspect I would like to talk about today. Now, in about 2015, I visited mango farmers along Thika Nyeri Road on their farms, and I witnessed them selling their mangoes at 3 shillings a piece to brokers, who then took them to the roadside to sell to motorists at 20 shillings a piece. That is about more than 600% of the buying price. The farmers really were at the mercy of the brokers, especially given that mangoes are perishable and the farmers had no alternative but to sell them at that prices. But of course, even brokers had no control over perishability. So what does that mean? What it means is that value addition is a good solution. Then I also noticed there was an NGO which identified an American market that would buy dried, sliced mangoes at 250 shillings a kilo. And we did a little experiment and found that 30 mangoes would make a kilo of dried mango slices. Yes, 30 mangoes at 3 shillings will be 90 sold to brokers. But if they were dried and then sold, it will fetch 250. That's more than double the price the brokers would get. And therefore it was easy to convince the farmers to set up local, solar village dryers. And of course, value addition started. I participated in the same. I also set up my own solar dryer. And the farmers started smiling all the way to their banks, courtesy value addition. Now in 2016, again about 2016, the then governor of Makueni, Governor Kivutha Kibwana, and his government enacted a bill to start a fruit juice factory. My university, Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, was contracted to do a business plan, and I headed the marketing team. Yes, the factory was unveiled in 2017. Value addition to mangoes via processing tremendously reduced the problem of perishability and improved the incomes to farmers via better prices. And therefore, research was injected into more value addition strategies, more value addition ways for the fruits. So, further value addition to mangoes became making it into powder. And the mango powder can be used as a spice in flavoring soups, curries, chutneys, pickles, salads, shakes, beverages. It is also used in medicinal formulas and indeed even in the beauty industry. So, the many uses of powder mean that powder processors would buy the mangoes at an even better price, and this would trickle down to the farmer. The farmer would therefore benefit even more. So, the Finance Bill 2023 has put a 25 shillings per kg excise duty on fruit powder. That means that powder from factories such as the Kitui powder makers, prices for that powder will rise. And if those prices rise, then we can anticipate some impact. Business impact, for example. If the factory cannot sell all its powder because of high prices, if the demand for the powder falls, then the likelihood that the businesses will start downsizing, right sizing, retrenchment, closure, or migration, that likelihood exists, and therefore loss of economic livelihoods will ensue. High prices of mango powder leading to low demand will also mean the factories now do not buy volumes the agricultural products, the mangoes. And if agriculture production falls, then the inputs into agriculture, the fertilizers, the machineries, and all that will also fall. And again, that leads to that business impact. Factories that feed agriculture will also downsize, right size, etc., etc. We just talked about research into value addition. So, if research into value addition is demotivated, in other words, the powder prices go high, the demand for powder falls, the researcher wants to improve even the level of powder, will be demotivated. And therefore, value addition research is likely also to feel that impact. And all this will actually lead to reduced revenue to the Kenya Revenue Authority. So, what was thought to be generating revenues would actually lead to reducing those revenues. A case is known when a beer meant for the people, for the low incomes, was slapped with a tax, and the brewers stopped producing because, one, the drinkers switched to other illicit brews because of that taxation, and the ripple effect was great. Indeed, it is reported that the Kenya revenue, instead of collecting that revenue, they actually lost tremendously. So, what are we saying here? We are saying that high prices of powder, fruit powder, will lead to low demand of the mangoes, the fruits. And if that happens, then there will be low demand for even the inputs in the fruits. What are we saying? That the bottom of the pyramid, who are actually the farmers, are likely to suffer should the top of the pyramid, the factories, shut down or reduce. So, we're looking at the bottom. We're looking at bottom-up philosophy. As we slap, duties, taxes to factories, we are actually reducing the incomes, the livelihoods at the bottom of the pyramid. So, if not well thought, some of the measures that we take can actually be self-defeating. Yes. I hope I made some sense. That is my thinking. I stand corrected. Thank you. Thank you for listening.